Like, if you think you're going to have a terrible time, play like a more fun character and then just try to do the absolute most goofiest stuff possible. Because maybe you throw your opponent off. I don't know.
You know, you talk about like Yoshi in this matchup too. What makes it so good for Yoshi is how consistently he is able to rack up a lot of damage with the right setups. And Steve having such poor aerial mobility on stage means that Yoshi can juggle him for eternity if he gets him in the right position.
Yeah, so we're going to see exactly how this plays out here. I mean, honestly, just looking at it, Ethan is going to have his hands full a little bit, being the lower seed here. Stitch, like we were talking about before, great player. That's a good opening right there. That's actually going to be a very big part of just his game plan in general. Like, Yoshi's got some pretty solid options to open things up. Like, even just tossing the egg, he can combo into that, right? Just to kind of depends on where you end up flying to. So you got to be a little bit careful. You got to be a little bit aware. But once Yoshi gets in, he's going to take you for a ride for a little bit.
Speaking of taking you for a ride, too, Ethan is the kind of player where he can play both game plans, where he can play that mind game the matchup calls for it, but he's also a player that will get in there down and dirty. If he gets those openings, he isn't afraid to hold and get some big damage.
That was actually really smart to just drop the shield and take that, because I'm pretty sure that would have been a shield break, which would have definitely set up for the stock. So it's kind of either like, look, maybe I lose the stock here, maybe I live, you know, compared to I will just lose the stock. I will just die.
And Steve relatively heavy too, as far as you know what you would think.
Yeah,
so.
I think he's 2 lighter than Mario.
Yeah,
right?
So
He's a midweight,
midweight-ish.
Which is really funny, because like the other side of it too is that with Aegis, Mithra is Steve weight, I think, and Pyra is actually Mario weight.
I thought Pyra's a little heavier than that. Okay.
No, not really.
Interesting.
I just looked it up to see that.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
I've looked at a lot of this because Mithra's also the fifth fastest character in the game, and Pyra's the 5th slowest character in the game.
I like that mirror.
Yeah, it's really interesting how they play. Neither of those characters are here, but you know, it's just a bunch of little things I remember, and you know how
it makes a difference that
stuff.
weight.
Yeah.
As we've been talking, Stitch really piling on that lead, got that backer to take that first stock, and just continued it with that momentum.
Ooh.
But getting the double parry on the down B from Yoshi is great and all, but it's just still a lot of damage to make up here for Ethan.
Oh, there we go. Yep, that's going to be stock, and that's kind of what I'm talking about in one of those scenarios where the egg will just kind of put you right in that spot for Yoshi's incredible aerial movement to just clean it up. So that was very well done. There we go. A lot of damage. Yep, down air.
Yeah, that consistent damage is such a big deal for Yoshi in this matchup, where if a lot of characters, they only get piecemeal damage, and then Steve hits you with one up tilt, and you're taking 60. So being able to keep up with him in a damage department is such a boon in the matchup.
Yeah. And this is the other thing to kind of keep in mind here too. Like, wow, Ethan's a great player. Stitch has played against a lot of really solid Steves here. So it's like he's definitely got a game plan. He kind of knows what he wants to do, what he's looking for. Great spot dodge, by the way.
Yeah, just to play around that money card, that can be a big difference as far as like getting that frame advantage to punish Steve if you get that spot dodge through in time. And as Stitch has continued to apply this pressure, Ethan has so few resources in the tank.
Yeah, like he's really got that would have been a moment where I'm just trying to get some additional resources here because you got 1 iron, right? You missed this cart, now you've got no iron, right? It's not a good spot to be in.
And talking about being in a bad spot, down a lot of percent this last stock, gets another diamond though. He's gonna have to make the absolute most of this if he wants to stay alive in this game. Just the lingeringest of lingering back airs on the toolbox.
Yeah, that's a scenario where egg is gonna mess you up, and this is a big opening. This is definitely not gonna be
Oh my god, it's almost dead even already.
Oh, that's diamond, baby. Yeah, this is a scenario where you got to be careful about throwing out egg because of how long that pickaxe will last, and that is a huge turnaround. Oh, man, great adaptation from Cheese in that second half of that game. Really just, you know, the diamond was huge, right? And then there's a few times where Stitch was throwing out that egg, and you kind of got yourself caught up in that. You extended that hitbox a lot longer than it needed to be.
And he did a great job of following Stitch's disadvantage DI2 on that last stock, where he took him 0 to like 70-80% almost immediately because he was following the escape route that Stitch was taking, and then just really did not let him reset in that scramble and just let the forward smash rip to take that game.
Yep. Yeah. Very well done. Great stuff from both players so far. Getting into game 2 now, though. We're going to see how this works out for Stitch. Honestly, I thought he played great. He made a couple decent mistakes, unfortunate mistakes, and Cheese took advantage of it. by taking advantage is that, hey, I'm throwing out this hitbox and you're going to extend it for me.
The unfortunate reality, too, is that Yoshi's double up jump armor really can't come through in those Steve combos because they're so frame tight. You really can't mash out with that armor. So still going to be taking a lot of damage when Steve does get in. You see Ethan, who's so consistent with his combos. Pretty much anytime he gets that up tilt, you're probably taking 60 to 70%.
Oh, he landed on the block and actually completely reset his momentum. I don't think he was wanting that at all. That's unfortunate. Should be the stock here. Yep. Just get that trade. You're going to get back to the stage without, too much hassle here.
I really like that edge guard, too, where Steve can definitely be tough to cover that Elytra recovery. So just floating out there, just using that arrow drift from Yoshi and just letting that Nair trade come through with that lingering hitbox means that they're just going to be taking this first stock. But now it's a matter of, how do you get back on stage and get some damage going?
Well, he's working on it. Okay, well, even it up. 2 stocks apiece, 0%. I like that. Just get those blocks out of the way. And that's the thing is, Yoshi does have a lot of pretty decent hitboxes. Just clear out those cubes, those squares,
Well, these characters also just really like to find up tilt at low percent to get a ton of damage early on. And Ethan had that gold in hand to just quickly pile on that opening gambit on the second stock. But Stitch responding here, getting that nice juggle in return. So they just kind of continue to swat back and forth and damage here and there.
He was able to get out of that. Elytra has almost no lag on it. It's kind of crazy.
You just kind of hug the stage as you land too.
Yeah.
And just bait the opponent to come in.
Because he landed and Stitch was going in to get a punish on it, and he immediately just turned around and jabbed him once, and then that was kind of it.
So that diamond coming through for Ethan, who's definitely gonna be holding on to that until the last stocks. He still has that diamond axe online just to get those up tilts going. Would be great if he could get a little bit more percent here, but that up tilt up air going to even things back up for Stitch.
Yep, there we go. Get that out of the way. But he is going to have diamond here. So we saw what happened last time in game 1. Got that diamond, immediately got those combos going. You took a lot of damage, and it was just an unfortunate time. 27!
The damage output on diamond is just insane, Skip. Being able to just hit 4 moves and they're at 67%. You have to play so carefully for the rest of the stock.
Okay, great parry, though, into the Nair. Jab, 1-2. Tried to force the forward air, not going to be able to find it. Oh, that's a scenario you could have had it. The up air 1, not going to be able to take out the stock, but you certainly are getting close. 117, the forward air, not going to be able to take a stock, but giving him some space to get some materials. Once again, now he's off stage here.
Gonna go high as Yoshi does over that ledge, but gonna not be alive for a little longer. Stitch probably gonna be starting to hunt for some safe back airs in the corner, but Ethan just perfectly content to just play this mining game right now.
Whoa, and the minecart is gonna do it. Did he have gold? Yeah, okay.
He did have gold, and he had the redstone, but man, doing that right in the face of the back air wall that was coming through from Stitch, you had to time that just right.
I get it, but at the same time, Yoshi back air deserves that.
And a lot of times, the counterplay with Steve minecart is you have to be hitting him before the minecart starts moving and the hitbox becomes active. Because if you're playing at that space, where the minecart is moving, like Stitch was there, you're probably not winning that interaction.
I do think that if he threw out the back air a little sooner, he could have gotten rid of the minecart.
Yeah.
But you are right. Once he starts moving, it's especially with the redstone and the gold. Hey, be careful.
You have to preemptively have that hitbox ready to go.
And the thing is I feel like Yoshi can afford to do that. You can afford to throw that hitbox out there because it lasts forever.
I think the biggest issue is the block layout that Ethan had set up over there, where it made it so he had to play at this distance where he couldn't be in that zone. And so that was just great placement from Ethan. But we are going to be making our way over to Town and City for this third game. Ethan up 2-0 in what would be an upset.
Okay, I like that. Did a reverse jump in and then was able to get a decent punish with that Nair. Tried to go for the sunny side up, not able to find it.
Sunny side up, is that the rising egg or what?
Yeah, it's where you hit them with the egg and they die off the top screen.
I love that.
Shout out to Rickles. He coined that term and it stuck with me forever.
It's the Midwest. We love brunch.
Brunch is good, man. Sometimes you just go into a diner at noon and it, just pancakes and eggs. It just hits.
And a mimosa just because.
Actually, yeah, you can get away with that.
Yeah. That's socially acceptable here.
Breakfast mimosas. Yeah. That's real.
Ethan down a full stock here, though. Gonna die even despite that big top ceiling on Town. So this has been, I think, the first meaningful lead that Stitch has had in quite some time.
Yeah, That's definitely helping out quite a bit here. Okay, there we go. Some decent damage. Yep. And followed up with the nair, 48%. Back air, chase him off stage. He's out of the minecart. He's got 1 iron left.
And that's the issue with Town, too, as Steve, where you just get a lot more of the dirt, a lot more of the wood. You're not going to get access to those thicker materials. And so just absolutely making the most of that right now. Just continues to chip away at this defense. But that up smash can even things back up from a stock standpoint.
And there you go. As soon as you build the wall, you just kind of get over there with your invulnerability. And I like that, too, recognizing, hey, I put myself into a pickle. I got to get out of here. Retreats to that platform. And just kind of recognizing the defensive options that Stitch had available in those moments. Just, you know, try to put some pressure. Didn't work out. Get out of dodge.
But back into another combo we went. So now it's back to dead even here, where Ethan piled on that damage so quickly as he's been known to do. So Stitch really needs to make the most out of this corner pressure. But Ethan just going to sail right above him with that Elytra.
Okay, I like that. Retreat out real quick.
Trying to use those eggs just to apply that pressure over the wall. But Ethan going high, and he's going to live a little bit longer. He's going to reverse with that back air, but that's not quite going to take it.
Yep, the up air. Tried to get something out of that. Okay, there we go. Just throwing out an egg. You know, that's fine. You lost the stock, but, like, you can get down here and take this back real quick.
Yeah, another misplaced back air there. Just going to be taken out by that minecart. So Ethan going to be able to hold onto that diamond a little longer and just pile on some really quick damage. Like, yes, he was able to get the double jumps out, but it was still a ton of damage.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you just kind of hold on to this diamond. You just build up damage as much as you can here. You get the stock
extra
rate.
credit.
Yeah.
At this point, you've got to see passing grade where that's going to get you through a college class. So anything after this, you're more than happy with.
Yep, there you go. Lost the stock, that's fine. You're going to be able to come down, get that those diamond tools made up very quickly. 76% on here, too. Honestly, you get one of those Steve combos that pretty much closes it out. You get a strong read here with a forward smash. That should get it done, too, especially at the ledges here.
Getting a back air, too, but that fair is going to take him all the way down to the depths. And putting a block right there is going to put an end to Stitch's winner's bracket life. That's going to be Ethan advancing into a top cut winner side qualifier.
I feel like he doesn't get the ledge there anyway, but that block certainly, for good measure, was like, because magnet hands are sometimes the craziest thing in this game.
Yoshi has really good ones.
Yeah,
too.
and that block was certainly like a, you're definitely not, buddy. You need to go home.